So often we see in indigenous communities who've had their culture taken from them, they say, your culture's lost. Our culture wasn't lost, our culture was taken from us. When our culture is taken, our little ones, our future generations, don't know who they are. They don't know where they came from. And as a result of that, they fall into depression, anxiety, substance abuse, all these different things. When you have a community that's rich in culture, you don't need that. When you have a community that's deep in their culture and their language and their connection with Mother Earth, we know who we are. We know what our ancestors did and the things that they did with Mother Earth to preserve the things that they held and cherished since time immemorial. When we lose sight of that, we fall into capitalism. We fall into colonialism. We are misguided. It gives us a lack of roots, a lack of substance, and a very thin foundation to stand on. When we know our culture, we know who we are. And that helps to empower us to teach our children to respect Mother Earth. Not just respect Mother Earth, and not only take from Mother Earth, but also be prepared to give back. We teach a spirit of reciprocity. When we live with the spirit of reciprocity, then we know that we only take what we need. Imagine if everyone, all around the world, only took what they needed. Imagine if we lived in a world where people didn't strive for a sense of self-importance, and they wanted to live in harmony, intergenerational harmony, with our great-grandparents and our grandparents and our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. When we put our hands in the soil, we absorb the nutrients from the soil. When we get into the water, we absorb the nutrients through our system, like our ancestors did for thousands and thousands of years. Where I'm from, the Spokane tribe, we fished our ancestral fishing grounds for over 10,000 years. It's only been about the last 160 or 170 years that we really started to feel the effects of colonization and industrialization and the toxic waste that comes with it. And all the things, the mining, the poor air quality, the poor water quality, all those things that came with that, we now have to clean up. But fortunately, there's hope. We only have to deal with 160 or 170 years of that mess to clean up. Many of the indigenous cultures all around the world have been dealing with this for hundreds and hundreds of years, so they have a lot more to repair. For that, I'm thankful. And I hope you think about that when you go shopping, whether it's for food or clothes or cars. What really do you need to make you happy? Is that really the foundation of your culture? Is that the culture that you want to pass on to your children and your grandchildren? Is that we just need more and more and more? Or do we want to preserve something that's perpetual, something that's going to give us happiness and joy for generations to come and live in harmony with Mother Nature? I encourage you to explore your culture, no matter where you're from, and feel the foundations that your ancestors left for you, and lean into it. Because ancestral teachings and indigenous wisdoms have the solutions to climate change. Imagine if all of the ancestral wisdom from all the indigenous communities was all empowered. Imagine all that funding that's going into fossil fuels, if all that shifted into the ancestral teachings and ancestral knowledge that sustained these communities for well over 10,000 years. Imagine the world that we would live in then. I encourage you not only to look into our cultures, but look into your own and learn what it means to live in the spirit of reciprocity with Mother Earth and the other children of Mother Earth.